Well, good morning and welcome to Peace and Late Night Conversation. Once the pizza is gone, I'm gone. Here's the pizza. It's cheese and pineapples. So yeah, that's what I got tonight. Tonight we're gonna talk about that Universal Church, Universal Cult Church. I've had I'm an ex-member. Of course, I didn't know it was a cult. I would know one day, but I have a separate video, another video of one of the ex-pastors, and it's called Exposing the Universal Church. Many people leave comments there, so I'm gonna say 3,500 views, about 500 comments. I make comments in there from time to time. It was two of their members tried to team up on me, and I almost had to well, I kind of did. Kurt Franklin and the boys, but I'm gonna keep it clean tonight. All right. Earlier today, there was a guy. What's his name? Darius. He's an ex-member also of the Universal Church, and I'm gonna turn the screen around and let you see what he said. And I'm just gonna respond to a few of these comments. And I talked to the people earlier. Then I'll give you a little bit of my experience there. But let me get this lighting right. Give me a second. Hold on. Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's better. I like it better. All right. And the guy said, I hope Lord Jesus take them down and expose this satanic New Age Catholic type of cult. And then he went on to say, I was homeless after I sent them totally all I had. And I called their call center telling them I'm freezing on the highway in my car. It was 2 degrees. They told me, why do you ask us for help? Ask God for help. I told them, but hey, I just sent you more than 1,000, well, I guess that means $1,000 in the last week. And they told me that no one's obligated to give them my money. So, all right, 4 years into this code, all I can say is I'm ripped off poor and all my hard-earned money went into the satanic cult that preaches a false works gospel. That's what the guy went on to say. Here's his exact words there. I don't know if you can see him. That's from my video exposing the cult, which is on my channel. You can go to the little magnifying glass and, just type in exposing the cult. And then click on the comment section. You'll see like some of the comments. All right. And let me go on to some of the other things. Some other comments. Give me a second. Then I go into what they do in their practice in this place. Okay, someone went on to say about 5 hours ago, say, I'm sorry I'm leaving them after I read this. So one of the members is supposed to be leaving them today. Go on and do more of this. Okay, and this guy, second. Y'all hold tight, and I can see. Feel free to leave comment in the comment section. Got any questions, anything like that? All right, this one guy. No, this woman. Sarah replied, Rodriguez Jackson. That's me, in case you don't know, you're on my channel. I just wondered, what would be examples of voodoo, hoodoo practice in the church? What I'm thinking of is the red ribbons handed out and other gifts like coins that were. I'm trying to click on this thing and it's going to something else right now. Give me a second, y'all. These things in there. Let me see something because I screenshot this. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. And good morning. Because it is morning time now. Very, very late. Okay. All right. So Sarah went on to say, what you said could have some true aspects to it. Yes, some churches do ignore the poor, but in fact, many churches do that, especially the Catholic churches. They really don't help anyone. The evangelical ones do a bit more helping for sure, but that doesn't take away the fact that Edwin Macedo, that's the that's the leader of the Universal Church. He's the one that started the church and everything. He's the lead. He's the cult leader, Edwin Macedo. So it says Edwin Macedo is just a con man, ex-salesperson who was just out to make himself extremely rich by preying on people's emotions, practically in their stressful situation through various means of manipulation tactics. And she went on to say, I'll say it again, there are no uckg churches in affluent areas. I always see the uckg churches in poor areas that are usually ghetto and mainly Latinos, practically Salvadorans, and black communities. I've never seen one in a nice neighborhood because people in nice neighborhoods have enough common sense to know the way to get rich or have financial stability is by preparing yourself, educating oneself economically, and having a path to wealth strategy. And a business plan is not done by going to some church that is constantly asking its worshipers to give the church money and more money. That's what Sarah had to say. And I went on to go back and forth. I can go on and on about these comments, but I'm not going to address all of them right now. What I am going to say is, this hoodoo and this voodoo and all that is real. I was a member for 8 years, 9 months. Of course, when you leave, they want to put a bad bone on you, which they do too. Every member that leaves, they say, oh, they left, and they hope that you're out doing something bad, living a life of crime or some kind of bad life of sin, whatever. Let me tell you a little about myself. I'm just a hardworking man. I go to work, take care of my family. I don't drink, smoke, use any type of drugs. What can I say? Let me see. I drank this Red Bull. It's about the worst thing I do. And I will Kurt Franklin somebody if they, saying, bark up the wrong tree. But other than that, I'm not a bad guy. So there's nothing much they can say about me. But anyway, they always hope that the members left and either got on some drugs, went back to a life of crime, went to a life of sin, so they can say, oh, they left the church. They got to come back. If they were never left, this, that, and the third. And, so forth. But anyway, let me get down to this witchcraft type of stuff. One of the things they do in there is they ask you to take the roses home. They pass these roses out, and you're supposed to take them home, keep them home for I think it's about 7 days or whatever. Bring them back to them, and they burn the rose. Another thing, they do something with a ribbon. You're supposed to wear it for several days. You bring that back, they burn that. They do this thing with the campaign where you cut a piece of your hair, you put it in an envelope, write down your problems, your dreams, make a donation, financial, of course, and they take that and they burn that. All these are soul ties. Then you start inviting spirits into, you start opening spiritual doors. Probably all bad. I guess some may be good. I'm not sure. I'm still, researching and studying this stuff. I'm not going to go in on all of my experiences with that yet, but we're going to go back and forth on this stuff right here. So, let me see what else stuff they do. They do these deliverance prayers, which is what they call it, deliverance prayer. It originated back in the 1700s, where it really is an exorcism. Deliverance spirits, open doors up. I mean, back in those times, they used to take a Bible and they put it on a possessed person's head, and they manifest with demon. They do things different now. Before we get there to the church, because I've been a member so long, I've been around where they go around and they anoint all the seats and the area and stuff like that. And I'm not sure how much other stuff they do before I even get there. So I guess summon up the spirits to, communicate with the other ones, run them off or whatever. But it's very spooky, scary. Okay, let me go into. All right, let me give you my first experience when I first started going there. So I'm not gonna give you too much, but I gave you a little bit. Just gonna give you a little bit of, and then you can Google what hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft is. And then another thing you have to know: if it's not written, don't do it. It's not from God. Most of the things they do aren't written in the Bible. The majority of the pastors, all of them, really, they have to, it's mandatory, they're forced to get vasectomies. That's some kind of demonic sacrifice, because only Edwin Bishop Marsalis, he's the only one that's able to have kids. He's an old man now, but he has, I think, 2 kids and a stepson or something like that. So they're all forced to do this. And then they're forced to give up their bank accounts and everything they own in order to become a pastor or bishop. Other than that, they can stay an assistant and they can keep everything. But if they become a pastor or a bishop, then they have to get the vasectomy and they have to give up everything and live in the church. They can never live. They can never have an apartment or a home of their own. They have to check in about 5 times a day, and they're given a stipend. So let's say if the ones that may be sent to D.C., Maryland, Virginia, if you're in D.C., if it's a, maybe a small church, you got to bring in things like $9,000 a month. If you come up short, 8,800, whatever, you may get sent to China or Mexico or whatever. You just wake up and they just send you off somewhere else. Almost like pimping. They have full control. They take you away from your family, wherever you're from, send you somewhere else. You have no bank account. You get a stipend once a month. You live with, I guess the other pastors in the church. Oftentimes they choose your wife for you. And you're just basically being controlled. So if you have no escape, then it's like you have to depend on them. So when you see the wrongdoings that are going on, when they're, getting people to surrender their whole bank account, their rent, selling things, selling their cars and all that stuff, and just basically becoming poor in the hopes of getting rich or getting healed from an uncurable disease or sickness or something like that. And this is done like in the campaign, women's campaign, Israel campaign of this, campaign of that. They usually do these campaigns in June and December. It's always usually done in June and December, where you have to surrender all your money to prove faithful to, whatever. You're trying to get a college degree, you're supposed to be able to get that. When your kids turn their life around, if they live in a life of sin or whatever, you got to make these sacrifices. And like I say, when you make the sacrifice, you give up all your money. You have to cut a piece of your hair now so they can burn it. You can take it from anywhere, head, mustache, whatever. Put it in a, envelope, write your problems down, whatever you're trying to accomplish, and they burn it. It's witchcraft. I guess some people get what they want out of it. Many don't. You get no refund. And, many problems start to come along with all this stuff here. The next time we'll go into, my experience. I'm not really going to go into it tonight. But I'm just throwing out there some of what's done here. And you go into other parts of the country, especially like out there in Brazil, corrupt. Their spiritual leader was locked up for extortion. Of course, he was, freed after 6 or 7 days or whatever. And this was a long time ago, but he was locked up. So it was bad for us, him stealing money from people. He's worth $1.1 billion. It's probably worth more, but I guess that's all they can estimate or whatever, with all the things that he owns and everything. So he's probably worth $2 billion. He generates $57 million every campaign. They usually have between 200 to 500 churches. They're banned in Zambia. They call the Universal Church there the witchcraft house. From them, people that have been there or been past there, the hoodoo, the voodoo, and the witchcraft. And they mix Christianity, mix a few lies in. It's like truth with lies. And mix in the witchcraft, the hoodoo, and the voodoo. Mix it all in there. There was one time when one of my youngest brother, there was an incident when we all had to write our name on a paper. write your name there, or you can just write your problems. You don't have to really write your name. Write your problems. And they had this grill, and whatever they done to it, holy water in it or whatever they put in it. You took that piece of paper, you folded it up, they set it on fire, and then supposedly your problems or whatever was attacking your life manifested out of you. My youngest brother, he was like, man, I ain't write my name on there. So I told him, I said, because I ain't know no better. I'm in there, I think I was in my late 20s, still learning. So he wrote his name on the paper and whatever else he wrote on there. And everybody did it. Lit it on fire. You had your eyes closed. And when they lit it on fire, his piece of paper on fire, his whole body started shaking like he was going to the electric chair. Like he was in the electric chair. And they had to get around him praying and casting whatever was supposed to be on him out. And that same day, he told me he was never coming back there. And so I asked my bro, I said, what you do, bro? I mean, what happened? Like, what do you think they happened? And he told me that, he had, murked somebody. Didn't tell me when, but he told me that he had done that. And like I say, spirits communicate. I don't know if it's bad or however. But you all have to do your research. And, you can always find another church home. Universal Church ain't no church. It's not from God. You can always visit different churches. Pray and fast before you decide on the church home. Because finding a new church is as easy as finding a penny on the ground. Finding the right church is like finding a $100 bill. So, like I say, continue to look, share the video, hit the like button, and check out, my other video exposing the Universalchurch. That's the pastor. He's an ex-pastor. There was a pastor there for about 30-something years, and his son is translating. And now people are leaving comments saying that his son killed his mother or something. This is what I'm getting now. If you click into the comment section of the video, this is what I'm hearing now. I'm going to say one thing. When you're in cults, they can frame you. If they have soul ties to you, they can use that to possess his mom. She could have attacked him, or he could have came, you know what I'm saying? He could have been possessed with something. Therefore, if you have a Bible from them, get rid of it. Go and buy a Bible from Walmart, Target. Get one from Amazon. If you listen to that music, stop. It's better, music worshiping God out there. Anything you have from them to cut the soul ties with these demonic spirits, you have to get rid of everything. That's the only way. You get rid of everything, they have no ties to you. And then, after that, they also use clothing. They tell you to bring, clothing in of a family member. They want to help them. They want to heal them, whatever. Don't do that. It's witchcraft. If you think I'm lying, Google it. It's witchcraft. Don't do that. If it's not written, it ain't from God. That being said, I want to say thank you all for tuning in. And we're going to get back into another video next time, exposing the Universal Church. I go into more detail, I'm going to give you more of my experience with the place, because not only was I there, my other brother was there, my mom was there, my dad, my stepmom, friends and associates, and I brought in people, and they all gone from there. Thank God, So I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Hit the like button, share the video. Until next time, peace is gone, so I'm gone.